Welcome back. The now number 17 Memphis Tigers, formerly number 19, keep rolling, edging out Rice 86-83 to extend their winning streak to 5 games and claim the top spot in the American Athletic Conference. P.J. Haggerty led the way with 26 points, while P.J. Carter, the other P.J., added 19. Rice, now on a 7-game losing skid, kept it close with 19 points each from Trey Broadnax and Jacob Darr. Memphis shot an impressive 55% from the field and over 52% from deep, but struggled at the free throw line. The Tigers nearly let a late 11-point lead slip, but clutch plays from Carter sealed the deal. Memphis has won 5 in a row now and improved to 8-1 in AAC play and avoid a costly Quadrant 3 loss.
It's what you got to have to be a great team. Like we're showing all year long. We got one loss in the non-conference on the road in Hawaii. We got a loss on the road at Philly, and then we haven't lost on the road anywhere else. To go into other people's buildings and continue to win ugly, it's a win. And I'm proud of the team.
Yeah, certainly kind of been the case for the Memphis Tigers these last couple of games. They continue to win ugly, and at the end of the day, a win is going to be a win for these Memphis Tigers. I think we talk about early on in the year, as soon as they got into AAC play, every game is going to be what we call a minefield, right? They're constantly trying to dodge mines left and right. These teams are going to give the Memphis Tigers their best shot pretty much every time they come because they're going to be the T-shirt game. They're going to be that number 1 team in the league that everybody wants to beat, and everybody's trying to, you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, and right now the Tigers sit as kings of the AAC. A couple of things that stand out in this one. P.J. Haggerty continues to be incredibly impressive. 26 points, 8 rebounds, one of the best scorers in the in the country, in the NCAA, still up there in the top 5. But what's really been impressive to me over these last couple of games has been the play of P.J. Carter. I think it's been 14, 14, and 19 now over the last 3 for P.J. Carter. He continues to impress. Listening to the post-game presser, and shout out to the beat reporters out there keeping up with the Tigers, somebody asked him about the play of P.J. Carter, not P.J. Haggerty, P.J. Carter, and they talked about how early on when he first kind of got with the Tigers, Penny Hardaway had to pull PJ to the side and say, hey, kind of feels like you're enjoying the moment but not taking this as seriously as you want. And PJ Carter actually said, hey, coach, I apologize. I'm not taking any of this for granted. I love being here and being a part of the Tigers, and you're not going to see any of this slouching or slacking or whatever it is that Coach Hardaway was seeing. And I think over these last 3 games, we've really seen P.J. Carter come alive. I think if he becomes a real reliable scoring option off of the bench, where he kind of already was, but if he could hover around anywhere in that 10 to 14 point range off the bench every single game, I think that's going to be quite the relief for Penny Hardaway as they continue to move forward. Memphis, 38 points in the paint. They outscore Rice in the paint 38-28. That continues to be a strong point of emphasis for the Tigers this year. Not as big a game from Dane Danger on this one. I think we've seen him kind of come up big the last several games. A little more quieter, dealt with some foul trouble in this one. But what was disappointing in this win, and that's why we're calling this one kind of an ugly win, is that Memphis was up double digits in the second half, kind of getting into the closing moments, and you're thinking they're going to cruise to victory here. I think I kind of laid back. I was folding some laundry. I'm kind of checking my phone right as this game is starting to close. And you keep looking up and you're like, oh, Rice is close. It's a 7-point game. It's a 5-point game. And what Rice did, first of all, they put the pressure on the Tigers. Again, turnovers continue to be an issue. 16 Memphis turnovers, 23 points off for Rice. 23 points for Rice off of those 16 turnovers for the Tigers. And what we're seeing is they actually put the pressure on Memphis down the stretch. Memphis started to miss free throws, 9 of 15 from the line, and kind of getting close. You're expecting P.J. Carter, P.J. Haggerty, Tyrese Hunter to really handle that. You're not really worried about them shooting free throws, but this is why teams pressure at the end of games, and you don't really kind of let go of the rope because Memphis missed the front end of 2 1-and-1 opportunities. It allowed Rice to cut the lead to 1 point several times. And so ultimately, you extend your win streak, you still are able to hold them off, and they got some pretty clutch baskets there from both PJs down the stretch. But it's going to be kind of interesting. I think Memphis still continues to kind of play mind games, kind of play with their food here with some of these teams in the AAC down the stretch. Listen, every game is not going to be a blowout. It's just not going to work out that way. But when the Tigers have double-digit leads in the second half, under 5-6 minutes to play, they can't allow these leads to shrink. They've got to extend them. And I think what we've seen is they're trying to, there's a pretty good chance, as long as they take care of business, that they're going to be in the NCAA tournament, right? But what they're trying to do is get off of that 6, 7, 8 seed that we've seen them be in the NCAA tournament the last couple of times. Right now, I think some of the latest projections I've seen, I think Joe Lenardi, the last time I saw his bracket, he had them as high as a 4 seed. And I think they'll probably stay there as long as they take care of business. But they've also, I'm not saying you got to blow teams out, but when you got to beat some of these teams, but somewhere in that 8 to 15 range, especially when you've already got a double-digit lead. So the Tigers will play again on Wednesday. I believe they have Tulsa, and so we'll see what Penny Hardaway will be able to do. That game will actually be back at home in FedEx Forum on Wednesday.